Hello and welcome to my video lecture where you can reconfirm your life direction. Today I would like to provide you an introductory lesson into Japanese Yakuza. In other words, Yakuza 101 by Japanese specialist. Hello, my name is Dr. Samurai, a professor specialized in international social pathology and also active prison counselor for 20 years. And only one time Nobel Peace Prize official honorable guest for my peace work. As usual, first half I will provide you general information. In the latter half I would get into much deeper information. And now let's start. Now there are about 30 Yakuza families or groups all over Japan. But how many are the major ones? Like New York 5 mafia families. We have 4 major organizations. One is Yamaguchi-gumi. Second is Sumiyoshi family. Third is Inagawa family. And the fourth is Kyokuto family. You know, interesting thing is we used to have clear difference in terms of their business type. Major one, gambler groups. The second major type is street stall keepers. Third type is gang of hooligans. These 3 types clearly separate their business interest. Used to be. But now everybody is after money. Gamblers group was supposed to be the very representative of real Yakuza. They secretly open gambling houses which change each time to avoid the police interception. Street staller were very powerful after World War II. Because of the bombardment, we had nothing much in those days. So those street stallers sold anything, including dubious quality of stuff. In those days, they had the most power. But gambler groups are considered most aggressive ones. Third type, group of hooligans, they do not belong to either type of group. They just are a collection of youngsters who are into violence and making money by violence. This is very particular in Japan. And as I told you, we have 4 major groups. The first 3, Yamaguchi-gumi and Sumiyoshi family, and Inagawa family are originally gambler families. And Kyokuto family is the largest street staller family. You know, and today Yamaguchi-gumi has 4,700 members. Inagawa family has 2,300 members. Sumiyoshi family has 2,900 members. Kyokuto family has 560 members. And they are the major ones, but there are many other groups. about the 30 scattered all over Japan. And all those small families are surviving because although they are small groups, they did not back down in a war against bigger families. So that is the only reason they are surviving now. So in that sense, although they have like 100 to 200 members, but they are ready to fight when. And as can be said about all the criminal organization, their revenue is the major one is methamphetamine, then illegal gambling, protection, intervention into civil disputes, and also extortion to businesses. Because Japanese society is going closely after American society, we now have two laws that is trying to control these organized crimes. Major thing is they cannot own a bank account. They cannot buy car insurance. Also, they can buy cell phones and cannot use public facility by using the alias. But major damage to them is not being allowed to have bank account. That blocks them from conducting big business. And once they use their wife's account and stuff like that, they are arrested. So compared with the American RICO statute, Japanese way is more like strangulation of organized families by denying major factors for lives. By the way, you know why they are called Yakuza? There are two major explanations. One is coming from a gambler group. We have our own trump card-like gambling. It's called Hanafuda, which literally means flower cards. 8, 9, and 3 are the worst combination in terms of numbers, and they are read like Yakuza. So Yakuza. That is supposed to be the major explanation, major theory. But the other is we have kabuki, right? And kabuki actors used to wear very flashy kimonos, and yakuzas also wear something like that, very flashy outfit. So kabuki actors are called yakusha. So it gradually became Yakuza due to similar fashions they wear. I would like to point out a big difference between old Yakuza family and Yakuza families today. In old times, Yakuza families are really family, like a godfather. Those who enter Yakuza family cut the ties from their biological families. So it was like a gang clique, you know. They are not well taken care of by their families due to like a single mother and stuff like that. So they set up their own family to make up for what they cannot get from their biological family, right? The same thing. Yakuza families are like real families. The boss was the father. And there's this famous phrase that once boss calls white thing a black, you have to take it as black. It was like that. And the world of violence, this code of conduct and discipline was everything. So even if one guy is much younger, if he is in the family earlier than the old guy, the younger guy becomes his older brother. So the older guy have to follow younger guy says. So to those who for some reason could not find a place in their real biological family, they stray into the street and go to pachinko parlor, gambling facilities when they are very young, and those Yakuza members go to those places frequently, and they keep meeting with each other again and again, and usually the Yakuza member start to lure their youngers or take care of their youngers who have no place to stay at. Gradually training the young into a real member who can take care of things by themselves. I have to point out this today's major trends in Yakuza world. Most of them are now third, the fourth, fifth, and the sixth generations in terms of the changes of their bosses. Even that the biggest Yakuza family, Yamaguchi-gumi, is now sixth, so they actually call them Yamaguchi-gumi of sixth boss in official way. But what you have to know is something that is not happening in America. In America, for example, those 5 New York families, right? To become a new boss, they kind of kill the previous boss or do similar things to go up high to become the boss of their family. Nowadays in Japan, family splits are very frequently happening. The difference is the founder of the original family, they care about everybody as a real father. So they had true love to each member of the family. But the bosses nowadays are the ones who won through factional wars, right? So they do not like factional enemies within the same group. So them in greatly disadvantageous positions in a family. So those who were treated poorly get together and get out of the family to form a new family. Actually, this Yamaguchi-gumi, after fifth boss, split into 3 groups, and they are killing each other, which is a big issue for the police department specializing in organized crimes. So this is a very special trends in today's Japanese Yakuza world. If you like this kind of stories, please click that green and yellow good luck charm to subscribe. I also put the best videos of mine, the URL, at my description section. So please check it out. I'm pretty much sure, can find something that meets your interest. Anyway, let me get back. The final part of my Yakuza 101. I grew up in the neighborhood which was pretty much filled with many Yakuza members, because it was a neighborhood right behind the red light district, that I did not choose, right? So I knew many Yakuza members, since when I was very young, like Mr. Robert De Niro's movie, Bronx Tale. They are very kind to me, but they had another face. Most of them are like a local leaders, and I also do my counseling at the prison, right? So those who come to talk to me for counseling, some of them are, Yakuza members. So I think I know them and seen them more closely than any other people from inside, although I didn't do any illegal stuff, But one, I think he was a consigliere group. He one time said, when I asked him why you became Yakuza, and his parents got divorced when he was around 6 years old, and this stepfather didn't like him because his face reminded him of his wife's old guy, right? So he couldn't have any peaceful place in the family. So he ran away from home and came to the biggest red light district area called Shinjuku in Tokyo. And he was kind of a stray dog, and there's no money in his pockets, and it was at the time that one Yakuza member talked to him, and did you eat? Do you have a place to stay at? And stuff. He took care of everything. That was the introduction, his introduction into the world. So he really felt love towards that person, his older brother in the organization who took care of him. It was like that in old times. And also the other member told me when I was a kid that sometimes we have to do something bad too, So even if I see you in the street, I may not be able to say hi to you when I am with my boss and stuff. And one other person said, all I have done was just living in this world for 40 years. And I don't know any other way to make a living. Although I am not interested in doing illegal things anymore. And things like that. So they are the good examples of old-time Yakuzas. They just didn't have place in their real family, like many gang members in the United States. And they were picked up, so to speak, by active members. and introduced to the organization and trained, and after years of training, living together with them, they are called to initiation ceremony in which they exchange a cup of sake to become official members and stuff like that. And some Yakuza members don't have fingertips. It starts with the pinky finger of the left hand. But I know one of the Yakuza members that I had counseling with didn't have like this one and this one, and also this one, like tips of 3 fingers. I hear some even chopped like 3 of them from the bottom like this. Or I have seen one guy who didn't have the tip of thumb. It all depends on how seriously they are regretting their mistakes to the family. But nowadays it is becoming an old tradition. Those without their fingertips can't even go to department stores. And you also know the full body tattoos, which is now like a synonym for Yakuza, right? Irezumi. Irezumi means stabbing ink. Why Yakuza tattoos covers like full bodies compared with other gang members in other countries? Because it is a sin to disfigure the body which we received from loving mother. But getting a tattoo means cutting their biological family ties. So it is like black and white. So once they cut the tie, it was the sign of I have nothing to do with my biological family anymore, kind of thing. It shows their resolution. So, ordinary people never got the tattoos, and only Yakuzas or ex-Yakuzas had tattoos as a sign of the cutting off of their family relationship and getting into a new family. But now tattoos are becoming more popular, and many of them who do not have anything to do with the organized crimes get ones. But still, we cannot go to a public swimming pool, cannot go to a public sauna and stuff like that. And once it was disclosed, most people lose their jobs, which all come from the old tradition that Irezumi is equal to being a member. Stuff like that. That said, in the old times, they had their own omerta, chivalrous code, or their own moral code. A very good representative was never mess with the ordinary people, because they are the customers of their gambling joints or the customers to their street stalls. So you mess with them, you cannot make a living. So Yakuza used to be part of the society. But now it's a wrong story. I hear so many bad things about the Yakuza organization. They are responsible. They orchestrate most of the illegal things, including murders and racketeerings, which could be very harmful to the society. So, such a moral code, although they mention it publicly, they don't actually care. All they care about is making money, as with gangsters in all other countries. And lastly, I'd like to say in the United States, there are many street gangs, right? And they are under control of prison gangs, most of them. There are similar things are happening. Many youngsters don't want to belong to a Yakuza family as an active members because they have too many rules. And they have to do things for the family hours a day. So they do not become members, but they still make money by using violence and stuff. Most of them come from biker gangs, not like Hells Angels or Outlaws MC, but our biker gangs are for a much younger generation, and they normally quit at the age of 20. So they go on to become Yakuza members and do all kinds of illegal stuff. Of course, there are some exceptions, and that's why I am doing this counseling at the prison to rehabilitate and re-enter society. But now those members have to put a certain amount of money to their hires, and it's like a pyramid. So much money gathers at the top, so bosses are very rich, you know. So it's now becoming all about money, not about love like it used to be. And old times, like mafia movies were very popular in the United States. Yakuza movies are as popular as mafia movies were in old days, up until like 30 years ago. But now it is not that popular, reflecting there. So that's pretty much it. This is an introductory section, and if you like this kind of story, please click that red Dr. Sunlight logos, and if you like it, I may do. But anyway, thanks for listening up until the end, and please have a peaceful and wonderful time. Okay, bye bye.